What's up guys? Today we've got a super fun video, and that is we are going to rate every single hero portrait in Hearthstone history. And before anything else, there are two moves that need to be made, and I think you guys will agree. Now that we've got that out of the way, if you guys enjoy this type of content, then make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow me on Twitch, leave a comment below, and join my Discord. Is that enough? Okay, let's get into the video. So I think we'll just go hero by hero, starting from the left and going all the way to the bottom right. Anduin is a pretty good hero. He has some OG classic emotes, such as
"The light shall burn you."
But overall, I don't think he's that interesting or that fun to look at, so gonna be B tier from me. Arana, kind of a new one. Demon Hunter. She's pretty cool looking though, and for that, I think just the color scheme of Demon Hunter gives them pretty much all A tier or better. Captain Valera's not the worst looking, but she's also not great looking either. She's definitely not on the same level as Anduin, so I think she's gotta be C tier, cause she's better than Nemzi, but worse than Anduin. Corrupt Garrosh is just disgusting looking, and not in a good way, I think. I'm pretty sure that is a D tier hero. Hazelbark, on the other hand, I actually really like Hazelbark, and it's one of those troll heroes. Unlike Nemzi, I think people actually appreciate the troll. Yes, it's creepy, so it's not an S tier hero, but I honestly think it is A just for how much fun it is. Deathwing is my absolute favorite warrior hero portrait by far, so I gotta give it the S tier. Demonic Illidan, actually, if you've ever seen one of these in-game, the preview does not do it justice. This hero is so cool. I really wish I had it, but 1,000 wins on Demon Hunter as a wild player is kind of a tough ask, so maybe one day, but overall, I really like this hero. Elise is kind of a confusing one because she doesn't look like a druid hero at all, and for that reason, I gotta give her a C tier. Yes, she does look kind of cool, but she just doesn't fit with the druid theme like I want her to, and when I'm playing druid, I want some bright greens, I want it to look like I'm in nature, I don't want it to look like I spilled my blue Slurpee all over the floor, so definitely C tier from me. I think Fire Mage Jaina makes sense to go in B tier, because she's not quite as cool as these heroes in my opinion, but she is definitely a step up from your standard mage, so overall not bad. OG Garrosh has some pretty BM emotes, and honestly, I am a big fan of that, so I think he actually deserves to get into the B tier as well, just for that reason. OG Goldan, I've spent a lot of time with this hero, probably thousands upon thousands of games, and for that reason, I think I'm just drawn to it. He looks cool, his voice lines are pretty good. Overall, a very good classic hero. Horseman Uther, if you listen to the voice lines in-game, they actually sound kind of cool, but I'm pretty sure they're just like a pitch-adjusted version of regular Uther. The hero is nice, but it doesn't add too much. Overall, it's pretty cool looking though, I gotta give it that, so at least B tier for me, but not the most impressive hero release of all time. I don't know if Illidan counts as like a classic hero since he was just released this year, but the basic Illidan does look pretty cool, and at 500 wins he looks even cooler, so I think that's at least a B tier from me. Some may disagree, but I'm a big fan of the way the Demon Hunter class looks. The colors are really enticing, bright, and they feel very Hearthstone, so for me, I gotta give it at least a B tier. I think you guys are pretty much seeing a trend at this point. Most of the classic heroes are too nice and actually pretty well done, such that I don't want to bump them down. But nerf Jaina, I mean, come on, we have to bump her down at least one tier for being nerfed like that. We haven't forgotten, Blizzard. And if you're not playing Jaina, then you better be playing Kel'thuzad. Kel'thuzad is absolutely the best mage hero, and that's an S tier from me. Khadgar is the OG alternate mage hero, and he's pretty cool, though a bit played out these days. I'm gonna go ahead and give him B tier just because I like the flavor, I like the way he's designed, though he's a bit more stale compared to some of the new mage heroes. King Anduin, I honestly don't think King Anduin is much cooler than regular Anduin. Regular Golden Anduin looks pretty much the same as King Anduin, except King Anduin is wearing some like different color armor. I don't inherently know that King Anduin is better unless you told me. Like, yeah, it's cool to flex 1,000 wins, but for 1,000 wins, I want it to look really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and give it B tier because I view it just as the same as regular Anduin. King Rastakhan is at best creepy, his voice lines are whack, his theme doesn't really make sense, Rastakhan's Rumble was a bit of a flop thematically, let's just admit it and move on. D tier from me. Honestly, I just don't see Liadrin being the same tier as the other B tier heroes. I just don't like her that much. I think some people are gonna disagree, but that's a C tier from me. Lady Vaush is kind of a cool hero, though for whatever reason she just didn't really click with me, so I think she's currently not my chosen shaman hero, but she's not uncool or anything like that. I guess she's just not for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and say B tier, a fine hero, but not my personal flavor of hero. Lightforged Uther, I honestly don't see this as being better than the other paladin heroes, so I think it's pretty much on par with Liadrin, and I'll probably rate the other paladin ones the same way, but I gotta give it a C tier. I really wanted to like Lunara. Druid is one of my favorite classes, and I really like the style of Druid, but Lunara is kind of a letdown. It doesn't really fit with the Druid color scheme that I like. I like the bright greens, I like the forest type stuff. Lunara just looks a bit washed out, and the dark green doesn't appeal to me as much as the light green does. So as much as I wanted to like her, I didn't. C tier. Lazul is just downright creepy. I played with her for maybe one game until I got sick of her, and I don't even like going up against this hero. It's creepy, the voice lines are weird, that's D tier from me. Magdi is not the most interesting hero, but I do like that he puts off those classic control warrior vibes, so I think he's rightfully deserving of an acceptable B tier. Maiev is like the only interesting rogue hero. I actually quite like Maiev, and I really don't like the other rogues. So I think how good she is compared to the others definitely deserves an A tier from me. This is going to be one of my more controversial picks, but I've already said it before, I really like the way Druid is designed, and OG Malfurion just can't be beat in my mind. That's an S tier hero. He's super shredded, he looks good, he's bright and colorful, and they keep printing new Druids that just simply aren't better than OG Malfurion, so what more could you want? That is an S tier from me. Mecha Jaraxxus just doesn't seem that interesting compared to some of the other Warlock options, so I gotta go with C tier. This is one of the ones that I actually don't own. I think I just skipped that pre-order, and I don't really regret it. Mecha Jaraxxus is not that cool. Maiev is a fine hero. I don't own him, but he looks kind of cool, and his voice lines are fine, I guess, so B tier seems about right. Morgl is actually kind of a cool hero. He's a great fit for brain-dead aggro shaman decks, though we don't have as much of those these days as we used to. I'm gonna go ahead and give him B tier because I don't think he's a bad hero, but he's also not super interesting either. Prince Arthas is another boring paladin hero, definitely a C tier. Paladins just kind of got screwed with the color scheme and the art style. None of these are particularly compelling. One of the main downfalls of the Rexar hero portrait is that you have to play Hunter to have him equipped. Even then, well actually not even then, you have to play Hunter to equip him, D tier. Okay, if I had to give Jaina tier C for being nerfed, then Scholar Jaina has to be tier D because she's nerfed Jaina, okay? Upgraded Goldan is about on par with regular Goldan in my opinion. Not much better, not much worse, so that's an A tier. Shando Malfurion tries to be all of the cool things from the regular Malfurion hero power, and I think it just falls a little bit short. The colors are a little more washed out. There's more going on, but it doesn't really look cooler. I still like it because it is the Malfurion vibe, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it A tier just to knock it down a peg from regular Malfurion. Sornoyo is visually quite ugly, his emotes are annoying. I just don't like to see him at all, so that's a D tier hero for me. Sylvanas, I know what I said about Hunter guys, but come on, Sylvanas is actually one of the coolest heroes they've ever made in my opinion, so I can't give it S tier. It's not capable of that as Hunter, but A tier seems pretty fitting. Thunder King might actually be my preferred shaman hero. That's kind of crazy because you would think there would be a slightly better shaman hero than this, but really there isn't. I think this is about on par with the other ones so far, and I'm gonna give it B tier. OG Thrall is not the best looking hero, but his emotes are second to none, and for that, I gotta place him with most of the other classics, right in B tier. Tyrande is probably my favorite priest. I think she fits just fine with the color scheme and the vibe of priest, and also just a really nice hero to look at in general. Fun emotes that can be friendly in the right situations and totally BM in others. I think she balances everything that I would want in a hero without being over the top crazy in terms of art. I'm actually gonna say S, so well done, Tyrande. Uther, like the rest of the paladins, just kinda trash, so gotta give it that C tier. I'm pretty sure Valera, unnerfed, would have been maybe even an A tier hero, but now that she's been nerfed, she's gotta join Jaina in that C tier. Wanderer Rexar is actually so ugly it almost borders back on being comical, but keep in mind you still gotta play a hunter to play this ridiculous and terrible hero. Sorry boys, but that's a D tier to me. Warchief Thrall I think is mostly just better than Thrall in terms of the art, and Thrall is already pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and give him A tier. And last but not least, we have another ugly-ass hunter hero, and that is Song Rexar, just recently added and just as bad as the rest of them, so that is a D tier. And that is every hero portrait in Hearthstone history. Tell me guys, did you agree with this list? If you did or didn't, go ahead and leave a comment and you can stack yourself up with others. What classes have the best overall portraits and which ones have the worst? I'm curious to see if you guys agree. Thank you so much for watching guys, I appreciate it. Keep in mind you can catch me every single night at Twitch at midnight PST. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. You already know, and I'll see you on ladder.